the devil will try you, but we still got that clap good on the second try. You know what I'm saying? And the second time gonna have to be the charm today because please don't play with me. Jesus. It's funny how we're coming into this because it goes right into the topic. It goes right into the topic. So how y'all doing? Y'all doing good? You can see the feel of this one is a little bit different than the other one. Because the universe is trying to test us to see how far we can go. And look, I'm 4'11", baby. You don't got to keep testing me. My body can't even handle all that. How y'all doing? You doing good? Hey, girl. It is your host, Tella. Woo! I'm trying to get some energy because we already recorded this once. So, you know what? But we don't give up when the going gets hard. We don't give up. And that's funny because that's what we're talking about. So I don't know why, my spirit team needs to show me how certain things feel. Like I'm already talking about it. I don't need you to put me through the lesson, right? Like I got the information right here, babe. New fear unlocked. Recording 12 minutes and not being able to use it. So, how bad do you want it, Terry?
You want it real bad.
Y'all make some noise for Terry V. However, I do want to point out again, y'all didn't see it, but it was in the first one, and I'm getting Terry's name right. There's something about, actually like, we were talking about the 10th episode. This is the 10th episode. Bow, 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 bow. And 10 is all about like this fresh start, like this new beginning, things coming to an end to grow. And that's the season we blossoming. No matter what, my phone tries to put us through. So, we're pushing forward. And it's, like I said, it's funny because the topic of today is fear of success. Fear of things going extremely well. And, what episode was that? 4 or 5? We talked about self-sabotage and procrastination and perfectionism. And a lot of us are scared of failure, right? A lot of us are scared that we'll try something and we'll fail, or we won't make it, or we're going to, just not get over this hurdle. We're scared that we're not going to get past this situation. Excuse me. Or let's say you do end up failing in one business or one situation or one relationship. It's kind of like, well, I would never be with anybody else after this. I'll never work again. I'll never drive again. Like you're just, that one situation just took you out the game, right? And fear of failure is kind of like it happening again, right? Or it will happen again and it will be 10 times worse than what happened before. Like the first mistake or the first failure was like your warning to never do it again, right? And then if we are stuck in that, then we're unable to move forward, right? Because then we feel stagnant. We feel like we're not important enough to, we can't be the ones that actually chase our dreams, right? And fear of success is similar in a lot of ways, but it's also this fear of what happens when it goes good. What happens when my life starts to elevate? What happens when I get the things that I'm praying about? Because as much as we want those things to come to pass, and as much as we want to be living in our abundance, a lot of times when those things happen, and sometimes with some people it's relatively quickly, you kind of get these blessings and it's like bam, bam, bam. And people who deal with fear of success, may have like what they call success anxiety. Like there's really, if you look up fear of success, it'll pop up these different phobias. But the closer you get to actually doing well, you become so anxious about it that you end up self-sabotaging, right? Like you're doing so good that you kind of end up messing it up for yourself, kind of almost on purpose, but you're not saying, oh, I'm messing this up for myself, but you do things that you know will mess you up. You see what I mean? So you're unintentionally ruining your life, right? I say this with love. And there is actually a phobia called success phobia. And then I'm struggling with this one, but it's like achieve phobia, but there's a couple more letters in there. But anyways, look it up, you'll figure it out. But the success of achieving, of doing relatively well, because what does that look like? And it's crazy because I was thinking about this topic all week, but I was like, I don't feel like doing that. You know, I'm like, I already kind of did fear of failure. I'm like, they're kind of the same thing. You know, you kind of mess it up for yourself to go forward. But spirit really does never really leave me alone. So, which is why I'm here with you doing this work. But it was heavy on my mind, and I kept thinking about it. And I just finished up my life coaching program. So give it up for your girl. Pow. Well, I thought she was finna do the grinding beat. But I was like, and I would have accepted it. Honestly, I would have. But what was I talking about? The phobia. Oh, thank you. So in my life coaching program, she had this video about how many of us are scared of success. And then she kind of listed like 5 things. And I should have wrote them down, but some of these things we'll touch on as like she spoke about. But it was like scared that you'll leave people behind, right? Because sometimes this happens subconsciously. We're nervous because we hear a lot of stories about people who get successful, and then all of a sudden somebody start acting weird, somebody start being mean, somebody start asking you for way more money than they already asked you for. You know, or like people look at you as a celebrity and start treating you different, right? So subconsciously we can have this fear in the back of our head, like, damn, is they really gonna mess with me for real? Are they gonna mess with me for the right reasons? Like people, like, and some people be like, well, I don't give a damn. But if you start feeling that stress up in your chest, thinking you about to lose, that's a Destiny Child reference. If you feel that, then it may subconsciously be happening that you're like, ooh, I mean, no, I don't want that to happen. But there's kind of like this fear that what if it does happen? What if I get so successful that people be like, oh, you so sadiddy, or we don't rock with you anymore, or you know what I'm saying? You a weirdo, right? Like, and I'm a spiritual girly. Like I'm moving to, you know, I already got the beads, you know, and the ankle bracelets. Now I gotta get them one skirts. You know what skirts I'm talking about. And just like tank tops and head wraps, and keep sage on my side or in my purse, you know. And I gotta have those one bags. So I'm about to be an earthy girl for real. A ghetto, sophisticated one, but all in all, I can be all things through Christ that strengthens me. But there's this fear that we can elevate and have to leave people behind, right? And we'll be like, well, I'll leave anybody behind. What if it's your grandma, G? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Like, granny gotta go, you know? Or like spouses. How many times have we heard when spouses get to acting real weird because shorty making more money, you know what I'm saying? Or like, she getting some clout, or what, you know, just getting some success exposure behind her. Like some people see that as a threat, and it doesn't mean just like man over woman, because women can do the same thing with their partner too. or with the man, we can become secretly jealous of the partner, right? Or that's what I think that can run in the back of our head, right? Or friends don't rock with you for real. Your family just keeps you at a distance. So that's one of the fears, right? The other one of the fears, and this was a hard one for me to like unpack a little bit because I was sad that I thought like this. But I forgot what term she used, but it's pretty much of like, how you hear stories and it will be a situation where a person got successful and then they ended up passing away, or like, not necessarily like in retrospect, like at the same time, but or around the time that they got their success, they ended up passing away. Like I think about like Nipsey Hussle, or this person who was so influential, was he rapped his whole life, right? But the moment he really got that big success, that like where he crossed the threshold, where like he was getting announced in rooms, that he knew he would reach it. But it was just this new level of exposure. And then when he kind of gets to the height of his career, he passes away, or gets killed. We can keep it buck. We call a spade a spade. He gets killed. He gets murdered, right? Or with Aaliyah, you're at the height of your career, and all of a sudden, your plane goes down. Like there is this fear of that if you go for your dreams, that you'll end up somehow, you or your family member, because that's another thing too. Because how many times have we heard about somebody being a celebrity? And I'm not just for my Illuminati people, I'm not talking about sacrifices, okay? Because I heard one of y'all say, well, let's say sacrifice them. But there's a lot of famous people who are celebrities or people who are well known and hell, just in elevation period, where as we're elevating, we hear about somebody's family member being killed or taken or passed away. So like, even though that may not have anything to do with them, but this fear that like once you are growing and you're elevating, something bad is going to happen to you in this big way, or something bad is going to happen to your family member. And that's a real thing when it comes to fear of success, that somehow we're not going to be able to enjoy it, right? We're not going to be able actually to live in it, that once we get to that place, we just don't go. And if that's a subconscious fear, because that's a subconscious fear for me, that I've had to like really work through and be like, damn, why do I attribute that to that? Right. But we hear these stories, right? It's on the, Terry, do you feel that way? Yeah. And it's crazy because it happens so like, it won't even be like, oh, I'm intentionally thinking about this. But I'm like, yeah, that would be fucked up. So like, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, in the back of my head, I'm just like, and I'm not trying to slow myself down, but that if I focus in on that thought while I'm supposed to be focusing on my dreams, it definitely could make one be like, well, I'm just going to scroll on the phone a little bit more before, I get up and finish it though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to stay over here. What was the other ones? And I wrote down some too. Fear of new responsibilities. This was probably the one that I was like, oh, okay. Shorty spitting. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Because like the first, I'm like, because like I said, I knew I had that, but it was a while for me to actually like address that I had a fear of succeeding because I thought something would happen to somebody in my family or something happened to me. But the new responsibilities, though, I said, damn. Because the thing about new responsibilities is if we have a fear of success, then oftentimes we're like, if new responsibilities come up, how am I supposed to handle them? Like, how do I actually deal with this? Like, am I going to be able to handle it, or am I going to be burnt out? Like this fear that it's going to be too much and you're not going to be able to figure it out, right? And you don't even know that. You're literally, that's why it's success anxiety, because you're creating this illusion that things can go bad, right? Or will go bad. And sometimes it's because we connect ourselves to when things go good, something has to go bad. That's a lot of us think like that. Or we're waiting for something to go bad because it's going too good, right? And it's like, no, life is in waves, right? It was so funny. I had like one of the best drives over here to get to, Terry V's house. And it was so much traffic. It was so much. It was an accident on the other side. It was a car stopped on this side. It was so back to back. But because I was allowing myself to just be like, I'm having a good day. Because sometimes we'll be having a good day and then it'll be traffic and all of a sudden we having a bad day. And it's like, damn, shorty, you just, you know what I'm saying? Turn your music up. Enjoy yourself. So like, I was not going to allow traffic to throw off my energy to the point where all of a sudden I'm having a bad day. And it's like, when you really thought about it, hello. And when you really think about it, you're upset at the traffic, which I was like, hell, let me just bang my music. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's nothing to do. I forgot what are we talking about? New responsibilities. New responsibilities. Am I going to be able to take all of this on? And I'm somebody who usually has a lot on my plate anyways, which is funny that I'm kind of scared of new responsibilities. But because I have so much on my plate and I'm still in this process of learning how to like deal with it all in like a healthy manner where I'm not spending too much time working, but then I'm also not shutting down to the point where I'm not doing anything, right? So I'm always trying to find this healthy balance. And I feel like I'm getting closer. So I feel good about that. And I hope that, if you struggle with that, you're getting closer. Coping skills make a big difference. Coping skills. So whether that is deep breathing, yoga, meditation, painting, coloring, right? Definitely something that helps movement, getting energy out your body, dancing, singing, right? Being in nature, being in water. All those things can help you to like calm your body down enough so that way you can be more in the moment. So that way you can come up with, resolutions and routines and structure. So that way you're not, going back and forth. So that's what's really helped me to take on all the responsibilities on my plate. But when I think about elevating, like I want to be a very well-known speaker. I want to be a speaker who travels, does workshops, I want to be, you know, I hate the word famous, but I guess you could say that, but renowned. Oh, that's I like that. God damn it. That's why I pay you the big bucks. Renowned. Okay. I want to be a renowned speaker, a renowned author, right? A renowned facilitator and life coach, right? I want to be renowned because and I've had to know that that's not like a selfish thought or like this, because with my fear of success, it's like, well, I mean, why should I be trying to be like that, And it's like, because my calling is to reach a lot of people. So the hope is that, or the faith is that as I continue to do this work, I will get bigger and bigger and bigger and have access to other people around the world to be able to share this work because it's important, right? And there's no selfish agenda in it. is to be able to reach a lot of people and not selling myself short about that. But when I think about reaching all these people, I'm like, damn, that's a lot of responsibility. Like, that's a lot of work, right? And Terry got other, you know what I'm saying? He'll be the director of the audio. So like, he already gonna have a lot of stuff on his plate. Like, so when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, damn, how are we gonna be able to manage all this shit? Like, what if it grows? Well, you know, and it's like, we want it to grow, but then it's like, oh my God, what happens when it does? Because then that's a different level of responsibility that comes with it. If I'm only catering to, 30 to like 100 views, it's kind of like, okay, we can kind of make certain mistakes. We can work through certain things. We can be at a certain quality. But once we start to get to like the hundreds and 500 and million views, there's a different level of responsibility that comes with that, right? Because you can't be late dropping no podcast because people gonna be in the comments like, hey, it's 6:02. I could have swore you said Thursdays at 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are waiting. Right, I'm supposed to be healing. Bitch, why are you not letting me heal? There's no more chicken. I was chicken. How am I supposed to feed my family now? Sorry, we was talking about the Boondocks episode when they ran out of chicken and Lady was pissed. But I feel that though, because one time I tried to go to Popeyes, it was like $9.50, and mind you, they closed at 11. So, and it was everything in Minnesota in terms of like fast food usually closes around 10, unless you like want White Castles or McDonald's. So, and let me not act like I don't eat it sometimes, but I'm really trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to get away from that. I'm really trying to change my life, so I don't need nobody judging me. But yeah, so we in the line, they like, oh, man, before you keep going, we just wanted to let you know that we're out of chicken, but we do have all the sides. Man, I almost turned it to that lady. I was like, yeah, I ain't got, how am I supposed to feed my family now? What are we supposed to eat? Because, we had to drive around and we had to eventually just had to DoorDash. And I was so mad at the Popeyes people. But I didn't come here for, I did come there for the mac and cheese and the biscuits and, you know what I'm saying, the other stuff. However, I need the chicken too. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. And that's okay, because I just wanted to share that so y'all understand why I was saying random things as I usually do. Because by the time, if you're in the 10th episode, you already know what's going on. You already know what's going down. I just, recognize that you love me and we can move past this. But yeah, back to the fear of success is being at this level where you are having thousands and millions of views. Like I said, there's a different level of responsibility. But I often have to tell myself, if I have thousands and millions of views and subscribers and, this new level of connection, this new exposure, wouldn't I have more money behind it? By that time? Because, hell, just put me in a room full of some money and then watch me work, right? So, getting connected to opportunities, as I would expose, as I would be connected to new people, I would actually have money to, have a team. Once it gets to that point, have people who help Terry with the audio and the video. Because I promise you, once we get past a certain threshold, baby, don't even bring an editing app to me. Back it up away from me. I'm gonna be like, please, no. Please. I'm gonna hire so many people to do this part. the editing process. I don't want no parts. I'm tired. I'm so tired. So by whenever episode that is, but by that point, I don't need to be scared of that responsibility because I'm going to have people in place that will help with that responsibility. So it's nothing I need to be scared of or become anxious about, because in our law of attraction video, we know that we are, God brings us what we are, not who we want to be, right? We can want to be something, but if we're showing up as somebody else, that's what we get. So if I'm showing up as somebody who's like, I don't know, I think I'm gonna be too overwhelmed by, being that high up or having that level of exposure, being seen by all these people subconsciously. Because like I said, sometimes it's not really us that's thinking like this, but those are the thoughts that are popping up, right? That's why we do shadow work, so we can heal those things that are happening without us knowing a lot of the time. Kind of like a unintentional sabotaging that's happening in our bodies and in our brains. And so we don't want to delay ourselves because we're scared of what could happen. And that anxiety literally will tell our bodies like, no, it's not safe, right? It's not safe for you to be trying to think that high up. Like, stay right here. Go, you could go about right here, but going high up, no, right? And we need to be able to do that work so we can take that part out of our bodies and be like, no, I actually want what I said I wanted, right? And I'm willing to put in the work and the tenacity to not give up, because with the fear of success, we usually put ourselves in place to give up. And it's funny too, because it's interesting that this is our 10th episode, because like I said, the reasons for 10 in itself is like this new beginning type of number. But also, like, there's something about reaching 10. Like, there's actually a study that shows that if you do something at least 10 times, that's when you'll actually know if you're good at it. So we finally at 10, and it's like, oh, okay. I mean, we have a rhythm. We're learning the pros and cons of it, and it's like, oh, this is kind of cool. Now, if you asked me a year ago how I would feel on the 10th episode of my podcast, I would be like, what podcast? What are you talking about? They'd be like, if you ever just visualize yourself. I wouldn't, because what are you talking about? Why do you keep bringing that up? I'm not going to have a podcast, right? So to actually be in it, in a idea that I didn't think that I would be able to pull off in a certain type of way, to be doing it, it's like, oh, right? So I don't need to get to a place where I'm thinking about giving up. But I'll tell you this, child. This past week, I feel like it's a new moon's energy, because it was a new moon on the 7th, May 7th, I think. And it's in Taurus. And what that means is, you ever met a Taurus? We got one in the other room. So, nothing too crazy. This is not a dig. Taurus, as cool as they are, they like structure. Things are more black and white. Like they'll have a little gray, but it's them sprinkling the gray, not you. So Taurus is they mean what they say, and they say what they mean. Right? There is no's mean no's and yeses mean yes. Like, okay, right? Like, there's no point to go toe to toe with a Taurus, because you'll just be exhausting yourself. Honestly, I would know. Not Terry. Terry's great. I have multiple Tauruses in my life, and so I get to see them in all facets and forms. But it really was this kind of like this intense energy of things kind of coming up and being like, whoa, like, I feel this way. But I was like, damn, I felt so exhausted this past week too. And I was like, I just don't feel like doing anything. And I'm granted, I did a lot of stuff, but it was like, I don't know. Like, I had to kind of muster this energy up. And it would be these thoughts of like, I don't even know. I ain't saying give up, but like, is there anything else? Like, kind of, because the mind will make you, some people do become bored with things, but the mind will kind of make things so anxiety provoking that you end up just want to be like, no, I'm just going to shut down. I'm just going to, I'll just forget about it. And then you don't do the thing for 2-3 months. And now it's like, you're upset at yourself because you didn't finish what you were supposed to start, right? Or what you started, you didn't finish, right? And then we want to give up when we're trying to follow our dreams, especially when it gets hard or it gets uncomfortable or we get overwhelmed. And so fear of success, a lot of times, as we get closer to the thing, closer to the opportunity, closer to our goals and dreams, when we struggle with this in this area, all of a sudden we're putting up unintentional roadblocks through like negative thoughts, procrastination, like I said, giving up before you really, right before you get the thing, right before something amazing happens, you give up right beforehand. And there's this term called self-handicapping, right? You are making yourself unable to do something. So like, let's say there was this big conference you wanted to go to. And granted, do things come up? Absolutely. But let's say you pay for it and you wanted to go. And then somebody said, I need your help with this. And it's something that could wait, right? It's not like a urgent thing, but they made it urgent. And so then you end up, saying, no, I'll help you with this because this is more important. You make their priority your priority. And then you don't get the knowledge and information at that conference that you were supposed to get because you allowed yourself to be so short to help somebody else that was going to have to figure it out by themselves anyways. Like, we only can help people to a certain degree, but we have to know when it is time for somebody to take on their own resolution, like take on their own challenges, and we only can be additional support. We can't always be in a fire with everybody in every situation because you're going to be drained and exhausted and angry at life. And it's like, it is your fault because you keep saying yes. But I say that with love. Right? And the last reason and this one wasn't from the life coaching program. It was from this article online. I can't remember the name of it. But anyways, it's fear around the judgment of others. Because this is the thing too. As we get bigger and we want more exposure or we want to be connected to more people and get more opportunities, our chances for ridicule increase. Because now it's not just a couple of people who know you a little bit or know you and have an idea of who you are watching these things or engaging with these things. Now you have this audience of people who don't know you, ain't never met you a day in their life, getting to put their opinion on you. I couldn't get that out to save my life. On you. They get to be like, I like this or I don't like this, right? And have big controversial conversations about what you put out, right? And some people eat that up, but a lot of people kind of shrink when that happens, or the fear of it, like, oh, I don't want people to judge me. It's kind of like the fear of public speaking, right? Now, granted, it's not the same thing, but when we put our videos out, there's this level of vulnerability that am I willing to allow myself to be shown potentially to thousands and millions of people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, this is real, right? And baby, one thing about the internet in itself, is it a humbling place? The internet is such a humbling place because you can have something that you like, damn, this is so good. I love this. This is the best song. This is the best poem ever. And then you get 3 likes and you're like, damn, right? And we shouldn't even be, equivalating ourselves to other people or comparing ourselves to other people. But do we do it? A lot of times, yes. That's why they stop, like, you can hide your likes, because sometimes if I feel like you see me less than I see myself, then it makes me want to shrink to, or feel like I'm not as good. right? And then the same thing is true where we have people who do become famous because of, videos going viral or songs going viral, and they may not have a lot of expertise in that area. They may not be that skilled, in that department. You know what I'm saying? Let's read between the lines here, people, right? That people can get famous off of that level of exposure or that level of connection or people being able to see them. And there's so much judgment that you can get. If you ever just not that you ever want to do this anyways, but if you're ever just like, wow, I want to see how miserable people are, go through somebody's comments. Like, it'd be so bad because it'd be like, what would possess you to say that to another human being in general? And to type it to them while they will now forever have access to that. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I always remind myself, anytime somebody is speaking ill towards me, that comes from inside. Now, granted, you ain't got to like everything I post, like everything I put out, like everything I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's it. Person A is about or A is
about themselves. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah. That's why it's from you, right? So, like somebody says, I hate you. What?
Person A says about person B.
And so that's the thing. When somebody says like, I hate you, or, you're not good enough, that's usually them saying it because that's how they feel about themselves, right? We don't, how you'll be like, you'll see somebody do something crazy, you'll be like, I never do no shit like that. But it's because that's not in you, right? Now, if you see somebody else do something crazy and you know that like Darnell almost had you about to do that same thing to him, you didn't do it, you ain't follow through on it, but you was this close to going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Behind that, you was this close to catching the case, or you did catch that case, and you know what I'm saying? And you beat it, or you in there and you listening, right? Shout out to you. But when we see somebody who did something we could have did, it's like, ooh, thank you, God. Never would have made it without his glory, okay? But, amen, it is Saturday. But we can be, however we speak to people, we show up with people, that usually is a reflection of what's going on inside, because we only have access to what we put in our bodies, right? But when I tell you, some of the comments be like, damn, like, why, like, even if that's the case, like, why would you, and don't let them be intellectual too, because it'd be like, not you try to read me for filth, because like, at some point, and I know because I'm a therapist and it's like, I get it. But like at some point, there'd be certain comments where it'd be like, get off the phone and get in the field. Because you know what I'm saying? I don't like how you keep trying to talk to me crazy. Like, am I a person of violence? Absolutely not. But you got one more time to write me a long message in my comments. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say that as a threat. I'm just saying that as an observation of me and you in this situation and where it could go. However, because I'm going too deep. But there is this fear of judgment, because people could write articles about you, about how much they hated what you put out. Like, damn, girl, it's Tuesday. But then again, Kendrick dropped on a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, yes. Which I understand why Kendrick hated Drake at 6 o'clock in the morning. However, there's a random person who does not know you from a can of paint that hates your guts at 7:32 a.m. Central Time. Right? And there's nothing that you could do to change it. And that's the thing, though. When we come back to the fear of success, there's nothing you can do to change the judgments of others. Like, there's absolutely nothing. Am I spinning or what? Okay. There's nothing you can do. And granted, have we seen people, and this is the funny thing about people, they will talk about you like a dog in one instant. On Monday afternoon, they'll talk about you like a dog, and you drop something else that they kind of like. And by Thursday at 12 p.m., they like, you know what? I really love her. I've always messed with her since she came out. You're the same person you're on both sides of the coin. Sir, ma'am, them, they. What's going on? What's going on? And so you can't please people who will flip. And we've seen it happen other ways too, where it'd be like, this person was this big fan of them, and then in an instant, and they have every right. People have every right to change their mind about how they feel about you, which means that how crazy is it that you care that much about somebody who don't give a damn? And all they got to do, they could sneeze and they'll be, you know what, I don't really like her for real. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like her forehead big, and I've always thought that. It's like, damn, where did this come from? Right? So we can't live our lives for others. And like I said, because I know somebody like, well, girl, I don't care nothing about what other people think of me. I love that too, Sharonda. However, I'm asking you, look, I know my clientele, I'm asking you to go a little bit deeper. Okay? And be able to be like, no, let me see. How do I feel when I post something? How do I feel when if you're a performer, how does it feel when I perform? Like, am I caring more about my craft and what I'm putting out? Or do I care more about how other people are viewing me? Right? You feel me, Matthew? Because I'm expanding my territory. You know what I'm saying? So, look, we open to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's an all-inclusive space. So, hello? You know what I'm saying? And the Samantha's, but because we come from Sharondas and Shaquitas and Monique's and Jasmine's with the Z's, okay, and the Shays, we speak from home. We speak from the safe place. But fear, like, if you have fear of success, please work through it, because you will be in your own way. You will be literally like, damn, I feel like I'm supposed to be farther than this. And not even mean it in like a negative way, but it's like, what am I doing? And then all of a sudden you start to turn inward and be like, damn, there's got to be something going on with me that's making me not be able to win. And it's like, it's not even what you thinking it is. You thinking you got to put in more work, or you got to do it in this way, or you got to do it in this way. And it's like, damn, all you need to do is be nice to yourself. Yikes. All you got to do is be compassionate with yourself. All you got to do is say, you know what? This is part of the process. I'm not supposed to have, 1 million views, and I do, you know what I'm saying? Or, I thank God for that. But like, that's not what I should be doing it for. Damn, I talk a lot. Let me wrap this shit up. But I do talk. I really like talking. That's a gift. That's a gift, Terry. But yeah, please go out there and get your goals. Don't allow yourself to be slowed down by your own doing. That's crazy. Because if somebody else is standing in your way, you would be hooping and hollering. Now is the time to, you don't need to holler at yourself, but be nice to yourself, be gentle with yourself, but also hold yourself accountable and be like, you know what? I'm slacking. Not in oh my God, the world is falling. It's like, you know what? I'm slacking. How can I better this? What am I doing? What am I not doing? How do I make better choices? Right? So that way I'm not allowing my success, anxiety to get in my own way. You feel me? This was good. This is good. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing God's work or whatever. Yeah. Yes. So I do what I can for those around me. Super excited. Take your time. I love you. I love you. Sorry. I had a whole bunch of chocolate cake after the sugar fast, and I'm just not. It's like giving a child candy. I shouldn't have it. I should not have it. But I did drink some water, so that balanced me out. Because do you know Terry's trying to give me a Sprite on top of that cake I just ate? Oh, he think this is a Chuck E. Cheese party. I'm going to be around this bitch jumping. Okay. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. We in the 40s, 45 minutes, I'm sure. Around that time, I got to wrap it up. That's way too much talking even for me, right? Like, you could talk for 45 minutes easily. Anywho. Hey yo, we gotta use that for a promo. Be like, does your partner ever sit down on the job? Okay, anyways, let's wrap this up. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We love you here at Let's Heal Podcast. And until next week, tell a friend to tell a friend. And it's Tella. Woo! Subscribe, please. For the love of God. Please. Please.